What's different about making corrections in verify mode? Let's verify the same file we used in the prior lesson and see if we can change everything back. The file is student/dupe2. The first thing we get is no corresponding field to dupe. That makes sense. We had that when we keyed also. It meant that the first field is a duplicating field and we don't have a prior record to duplicate from. I'll press the reset key. What's our problem now? We can't see any of the data. The point is to verify that the keyer entered the data correctly, not that the verifier can correctly re-enter the keyer's keystrokes. Why would a data entry provider use verify mode instead of correct mode? Because the objective is speed and accuracy of entry, and you get that speed and accuracy when a keyer is operating in a semi-automatic mode, sort of like riding a bike. If you think too hard about it, you fall off. Proofreaders, unless they're extremely experienced at their task, can easily get caught up in the context of what they're reading and forget they're supposed to be looking for errors. That's enough philosophy. Let's start our task. Oh my, even though we've seen a lot of this data, who can remember what it was? In an actual verify process, you would have the batch data in front of you. But even then, you might want to see what the keyer entered to determine error is the keyer's fault or your fault. Unibase lets a verifier see the contents of the field with the field D key combination, which you can think of as field display. So we'll press the field key, function key 4, release it, and then press the letter D. And we see our class ID is 0010. But we don't have to key the leading zeros. I'll press the digit 1, and notice that the cursor displays the 1 in position 3 of this field and has skipped over the leading zeros. Unibase is now waiting for us to verify position 4 of this field. I'll key the digit 0, and we're at the first name field. We'll remember to turn our auto functions back on. Let's pretend we're really sharp people and remember that Joe Black is in the first record. So I key the letter J. What? What do you mean verify compare error? Did I make a mistake? Let's turn the message off and try again. J. I know I keyed it correctly that time. I suppose I can keep doing this, but at some point I've got to do something else. Are we in the right place? Do we have the right batch? It sure would be nice to see the whole record. Field D showed us a single field. Do you suppose record D shows us the whole record? Function key 3, the record key, the letter D. Uh-oh, that's not what we want, but we can get out of here. Okay. Now what? The key combination to display the whole record in verify mode is record W. It's not quite fair, but the record D combination got used for something else, which you'll see in the lesson on data entry help list. So if we try the record W, remember it as record written if you need a mnemonic. Let's hit function key 3, then the letter W. We see that this is the Joe Black record. We just messed with it learning about correct keys. So let's do a character correct and change the J to M. When we press the correct key, we see our character correct in the upper right corner, but all the data disappeared again. Of course, the verifier is still supposed to key what he sees on the paper, not what he sees on the screen. So let's key our J. The C correct disappears, and we keep keying with OE and press the field release. Now look what happened. We're back at the beginning of this field instead of going to the next field. Do we have to verify it again? Yes, but that's only because we made a change to this field. It's possible for the verifier to make a mistake too. We could have keyed F and gotten Fo instead of Joe. So Unibase asks the verify operator to re-verify the field if he's made a change to it, just to be sure. Okay, so let's key Joe again. J-O-E, field release. And now we're in the last name field. We know black is slack, so let's go ahead and change it now. Correct the first character to B, key L-A-C-K, field release, and then do it again. We remember the last field had 100 keyed in it. We key 100, and hooray! We've gone to the next record. One down, still a few more to go. Notice that duplication still works in verify mode, so at least we don't have to verify the class ID for every record. This is our auto white record, so we key auto, O-T-T-O, field release. Good. We don't have to re-verify that field. Now for white. Phooey. If we use field D, we see green, and remember that we had made that change. So we'll do a field correct. Function key 4, the correct key, we get our field correct, and we'll change green back to white and re-verify it. And this amount was 200. Now we're ready for Susie Smith. Remember we changed her to Jones? She got a divorce, so it's back to Smith. We'll do a field correct, key in Smith, re-verify it, and the amount here was 300. What's this verify compare error? We're stopping on the class ID. Oh, right. The class ID changed to 20. So let's key the 20 and turn our auto back on. This record is Kathy Tarbox. Oh, we changed that to Tarbuckle, remember? But we want it back to Tarbox. So we'll do a field correct, function key 4, function key 9, put in our OX, field release, re-verify it, field release, and our amount is 20,000. Okay, we're ready for Grace. No. No Grace. Alright, we'll do a record W. What's Freddie doing here? Let's delete him with the record delete. Function key 3 and a delete. We still get a verify compare error. Let's do another record W. Right. This was our Grace, but we made a lot of changes to it. So let's change them back. We'll do a record correct here. Function key 3. The correct key, our R correct, appears in the upper right hand corner. Change the class code back to 20. Change Dorothy back to Grace. Change Parbox back to Tarbox. And change the amount back to 3,000. Okay, now watch. Before I hit field release, we're on record 5. And we're still on record 5. Since we've done a record correct, we have to re-verify the whole record. So we'll do our Grace and our Tarbox and our 3,000. Okay, now we're supposed to have Freddie. Another verify error. We're at John. Looks like the operator mixed up a couple of these. Let's go ahead and put Freddie in. We'll do a record insert, function key 3, insert key, format 1. We duped the class ID of 20. That's okay. Freddie was a 20. We'll put in his name, his last name, and his amount was 50. And of course we have to re-verify him. Now we should be at John, and we are, and remember we can use our dupe key here too. He's Tarbox, and his amount is 50. And hooray, we are at the end of file. No more records to verify. Press Reset, Terminate, and Release. Wow, this was probably a lot messier than your usual verification because I wanted to demonstrate all the possibilities in a brief amount of time. But it's enough to make you appreciate verifying behind an accurate keyer.